I'm doing another one of these. I'm doing another reaction to the next step because you guys love this shit. And I am enjoying it as well. It's like I'm rediscovering the show because it truly does feel like a different show altogether. This is episode 4 from season 7. We're going in sequential order. I did ask in my last video, I'm just realizing, I just filmed that video like 2 seconds ago, and now I'm about to film this video, obviously. And in the last video, I asked if you guys wanted me to go in sequential order, if you wanted me to watch specific episodes and just go in blind. But I decided I'm just gonna stick with season 7 because it's easily accessible to me, and watching them all in a row will be fun because then I can like properly know the story. And I think that'll you know, like, I don't know, it'll be more enjoyable when you like know what's going on. So that's what I'm gonna do. Also, there's wine this time around. Let's do it. Tired of being pulled in different directions by her 2 best friends, Piper gets Finn and Amy together in the hopes of sparking a friendship between them, but finds it quickly turning into a disaster. Meanwhile, Summer struggles to keep track of rehearsals, adjusting to unexpected changes in A Troop. Ozzy and Heath, I almost said Health. Heath are forced to set aside their differences when tension boils between the two that places them at risk of losing their place at the studio. Cleo, it is Cleo! Cleo! Hello! A fresh face to TNS tries to move up the ranks by making friends with Rochelle. All right, let's do this.
Previously on the next step.
Previously on the next step.
Look, just so you know, I really don't think it's a good idea to have an alternate on each troop. There can only be one dance captain.
It's me. Who else could Emily possibly be talking to?
It's Summer!
And that person is... Summer. Congratulations.
Are you kidding me right now?
Oh, this song, baby, just fit me, just give me a shot. That's from like season 1, I think, or 2? 1. What is that song from? I don't remember, but I know it's a song that we either danced to or was playing in the background of like early seasons. It's kind of nice that they like bring back old songs, because then it's nostalgic and you can be like, oh my god, they played this song like I'm just doing right now. That's kind of sweet. Yes, Briar solo.
That way, like I could fade into space. I won't be queen for a day. I'll be the king for a decade.
After I was...
What was that whole dance sequence? She is so good. She literally said, I'm just gonna casually like snake my body up, but like starting with my toes. How? And what's crazy is like when she started dancing on the next step, when she was like 12 or whatever, I don't even know how old she was, she literally was like this powerhouse of a dancer in all tricks, but all the transitions between everything were still like, she was still working on that part of her training, if that makes sense, because like that to me is just as important as doing like getting all the tricks properly. But now you watch her dance and it's like seamless, like everything's just so fluid. There's like a really beautiful way that she moves. Anyways, it's cool to see her like grow up, I guess.
So I came in early to put in some extra work.
She came in early, She came in early to put in some extra work by just performing a beautiful flawless solo.
You're gonna have to be a whole lot earlier if you think you're gonna beat the early bird.
Wow, it's no wonder you're the face of Absolute Dance and the top dancer at the studio.
Well, clearly that doesn't matter when they're picking dance captain around here.
That was a complete travesty.
Sorry, what was your name again?
It's Cleo.
Okay, I don't trust her. Cleo is up to something. She's sneaky. She's like, I mean, obviously she's doing this because she wants to like get into A Troop. Like, we know her intentions, but I don't trust her. You know, like she's using Rochelle to get, like anyone who uses people for things, you shouldn't trust them.
I just figured out what I need to do to move up in the ranks. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yes, guys, that was awesome.
Today is my first...
I don't know why I find that move so funny. It's just... They were just practicing, so like they weren't going full out, but they look kind of funny to me.
I think we're ready to learn the next section. Being dance captain is a huge responsibility, and I'm so honored that Nick and Emily trusted me with that. I'm not gonna let them down.
I realized in the last video I did that I was like, why don't they show them like choreographing the routine? We totally do this all the time. I swear to you guys, like this show was my life for like 5 years straight, pretty much. And then now it's like the farthest thing from my mind most days. I mean, the past like month and a half, I'd say, or like month, I'm like getting back into like thinking back and reminiscing and like telling stories for my vlogs and whatever, and like obviously there's reaction videos, but I will watch this back and then I'll think like, wait, why didn't they do this or this? And then I'll like remember that we 100% did that thing. It's like I'm reliving the thing in my head, but I think that it's something that I'm just coming up with on my own. Isn't that weird? Anyways.
I'm so proud of Summer. She's doing a great job, and I'm beyond happy that I get to be a part of this dance for nationals.
One.
Oh yes, I forgot that like anytime we do those talking heads, depending on the scene, if it's like, it would always change the like description of the character. So like, for example, it said Henry, Summer's boyfriend, just to give you context of like why he's saying these things, which I think is so funny. Like, or sometimes it would be like, when Riley was kicked out of E-Girls, it said Riley, former E-Girl. And like, I just find that so funny. I don't know why.
A 2, 3, and a 4.
At first, I thought Heathcliff joining A Troop was a dark cloud hanging over me. Now that he's the alternate, I get to boss him around all day.
Understudy? More like wonder study. Oswald, I am right behind you, okay? Watching every
This guy has a lot of confidence for not making A Troop. You know what I mean?
single move.
Well, why don't you get used to the view, Heathcliff? Because you're always gonna end up behind me.
We'll see. Uh-oh.
Are they gonna kiss? Sometimes, you know, when you see those scenes where like two guys are like getting in each other's faces and they're like really angry and they're trying to show their like alpha male energy, and it gets to that point where you're like, is there some sexual tension there? Are they gonna kiss? That would be, I think that would be a phenomenal storyline where they like start off as like they're beefing, but then they're like, maybe it's just because there's this like tension there. That's fun. Why am I always commenting on like who should be hooking up on this show?
Summer, you're dance captain. You're going to be able to keep this under control, right?
Yes, I promise. I will make sure everything is running.
That's another thing I remember about dance captain, is that like we would always think of this too, or like wonder this, why like there's a dance teacher but then there's a dance captain, and why is it that the dance captain has kind of more responsibility in like training these kids than the teacher does? Because like I don't know about anyone else's dance studio, correct me if I'm wrong if this is true for you, but like in my dance studio there was no such thing as a dance captain. Like no such thing. Like there was obvious favorites and obvious dancers who would like always be put in the front, always be given the like center roles of a dance, but never like a dance captain, because it's the dance teacher who shows up, she gives you the choreography, she corrects you, she's there 100% of the time, teaching you that way. Weird. What was I saying? Dance captain. Yeah, dance captain was never a thing, but my theory and what I'm remembering now as I'm thinking out loud is that like a dance captain, it has to be the kids that are making their decision, and then there's like that parental figure, so that any youngsters out there watching the show can still feel like they're like the young kids are making the choices and making the mistakes and like whatever, but there's still the comfort and the safety of having like an older figure, like a parental figure.
The last thing I would want is for Nick to question making me dance captain. I hope this doesn't turn into a disaster.
Well, it's gonna. Oh, I just stopped it right before this intro. Oh, finally, we get to see the intro, everybody. Let's see it. We are gonna show the someone aerials. Wait, did someone aerial there? Let's go back. We are gonna show the someone aerial. No one aerialed. You know something else that I love about this season that they kind of brought back is that it's not so centered around specific characters, because like I feel like when I was on the show, season 1 was very much an ensemble cast. Everyone had their different issues. Like there was Stephanie and there was Chloe and there was there was Riley, there was Emily, Michelle, there was all the boys, there was like all these different characters, and each one of them had their own thing that they had to deal with. As the seasons went on, it became very like James and Riley became like a focal point of the show, and then it sort of became this like hierarchy in a way of like there's these characters and it's like they are now all of a sudden the leads, but when it should have been from the beginning and stayed like everyone has their own stuff going on, and I like that they're like keeping that vibe. Correct me if I'm wrong, I've only seen 2 episodes, but like I like that they brought back that energy of like everyone's now kind of equal in a way. I'll stop pausing it now. So those jumping shots, I remember, sorry, I know I just said I would stop stopping and then I stopped it, but those jumping shots where everyone's like, I remember we had, like during that White Wall day where we film all the intro and like in between shots, there would be a trampoline that they would bring and like all these mats, and you could like do a flip and you could like jump on the trampoline and then do a jeté, and that's how you get like this like soaring shot of dancers like flying through the air. And this shot right here of Shelby, just like, here, I'll use my cursor, right there, boom. She for sure just said, let me bend my body backwards. That's really funny.
I love getting to hang out like this. Just the 3 of us. Me, Piper, and Piper's phone. Do you mind turning the ringer off?
That was sassy. I really wish she said that to Piper. I wish that would be funny to do an episode where like you take the script but you flip it. So like all the talking heads become what people actually say. Just remove the talking heads and then people actually just say what they mean. I think that would be funny.
I'm just finding it distracting. Yeah. Having 2 best friends really pulls you in 2 different directions. Fun guy, you were saying? Well, then I
just turn your phone off. If you're like, having 2 best friends really pulls you in 2 different directions. If you are dedicating your time to one person, turn your phone off. If it's being annoying, sorry, let me just turn it off. This is what's important. Because then you're telling that person that this is valuable to me. Which obviously she doesn't care. Obviously she's like, well, I want to spend time with both my best friends at all times. Lame, Piper, lame.
I just
Whoops.
told him to take the plate back because I didn't want the mushrooms anymore. How about the 3 of us hang out all together so you can learn to like Finn just as much as I do?
Why doesn't she like Finn? Someone asked me. I'm gonna guess though. My theory is either they dated or they tried to date and it didn't work, or they broke up, or they like had some sort of rivalry, or like he was trying to be like, or maybe he like broke her best friend's heart, or they were really good friends and then one of them did something to like hurt the other and it was misunderstood, and then like they both now think that the other person hurt them. Does that make sense? Or is it the wine talking?
I actually just want to hang out with Piper alone.
Okay, nice. Okay, let's go a bit faster.
As an alternate, I need to learn all the dances, so I'll be at all the rehearsals taking notes.
I love how they said. First of all, if you're an alternate, again, this show has, like, let me preface all of this by saying that, like, this show has to set things up. One, so that staging is easier for, like, the directors and for the camera ops. Like, everyone has to, like, so that's why sometimes I'll say, like, this wouldn't actually happen in a studio, because it wouldn't. Like, a lot of this is amped up, it's staged, so keep that in mind when I say what I'm about to say. But he would never, at least in my opinion, if it's an alternate dancer, they would never have a pad with a pen being like, oh, I'm gonna write down what's happening, because that's not gonna put it in your body. If you're trying to learn choreography, you'd be at the back of the room, like, picking up the choreo as you're watching it. And being like, okay, whatever, and like, what's this person doing? They're doing this, okay, and then what's this person doing? Because as an alternate, you don't know who you have to fill in for, I'm assuming, so you'd have to just like watch everyone's positions and like keep track mentally and then just try it. You can't pick up choreography by writing it down. Unless he's the type of dancer and that's like a character thing, but then at least establish that first, maybe. Again, it's probably because they just needed to make it really easy to like get the shot of him taking notes while watching the routine, but it would make more sense like in the real world, or like to relate it to the dance world, for him to actually like be learning the routine in the back of the room, physically, like, doing it. Anyways, that's just my thoughts.
Nationals is right around the corner. I've put a...
I said that word was banned, but they used it. It's true. Oh, they kept it in. They probably said, because it is kind of unavoidable to be like, Nationals is right around the corner, or whatever is right around the corner.
I was thinking maybe in the choreo that everyone could do a solo. First up, Ozzy, do you want to show us the sequence?
Gladly.
Another thing that would never happen. Do you want to show us a sequence? Doesn't exist. It's what is the choreography, and if it's like, can you improv or come up with 2 counts of 8, here's the piece of music if you want to listen to it, go do that while I work on the next section with these dancers. That's what would happen. It's not, show me something. That's maybe, again, something that they can't do for time. They can't be like, Ozzy, go do that thing, unless that sets up the next story point, because again, this show is about the drama. It's about the dynamic between the dancers, and then like the dance is just like a bonus thing that exists. So realistically, all of these like moments about like showing the rehearsal process and whatever, you don't need to be correct. You just need to be effective and efficient in terms of getting your plot points across within the confines of these rehearsals. So that's why they're doing it this way. But that would never happen.
Clean.
Nice.
You got all that understudy, or do you need me to do it again for you?
You did a fouette sequence. It's not hard to pick up. It would have been better for him to do like an intricate dance something. But again, probably time constraints. They probably didn't have time to put together all that choreo. They probably didn't have time to like make something up. So they said, we don't have the time to rehearse this. You're just gonna do whatever comes to mind. And he was probably like, okay, I can do turns. So like, I understand that, but it's funny that he like throws that at him, but Heath is probably like, yeah, I could probably do it.
I got it, yeah. I think I can actually add a little something to it. It's only a matter of time before I take a spot in this dance and on A Troop.
I don't like Heath. I don't like him. He's just so unlikable. Not the actor. The character. Obviously, I'm sure the actor is a wonderful person, but this character, man, gosh.
This means war.
At my old studio, nobody wanted to be dance captain. Everyone thought it was stressful and kind of boring.
Stressful and boring? That's the last thing dance captain is. I mean, it's the biggest honor in the world to be dance captain.
I think you're overlooking the advantages of...
Whoa, sorry. I like how they have a locker room. That's something that we never had. We just had those cubbies. And in a dance studio, you do kind of have a change room that is sort of the like sacred space where like if a dance teacher said something to you that you felt was like, I don't know, unjust, let's say, you would like bring it up to your fellow dancers in the like girls' change room or the boys' change room. Obviously, they would be separate, but you would like go in and be like, okay, was that uncalled for or whatever, and you would like kind of talk gossip in there when you're a teenager especially. And so it's nice to have like that space that's like separated from the dance studio, because there really is a different energy in the change room than there is in the studio. The studio is a place where you're like there to do your work, you're there to perform, and if you step out of line, you're punished for it. But in the change room, there's really no rules necessarily in terms of like how you present yourself socially, I guess.
If I can convince Rochelle that being dance captain is a waste of her time, we'll become friends, and that'll secure my spot on A Troop.
How? I'm seriously trying to figure this out. So she wants Rochelle to not become dance captain so that she can secure a spot on A Troop because she wants to be her friend. I see. Okay, so she's just trying to be like the shoulder to cry on, console her, and be like, if I can convince her that like what she has right now is good, then she'll trust me and she'll like trust my opinion, I guess. Okay, I buy it.
Maybe it wasn't a good idea for me to hang out with you guys today.
Please just give him one more chance.
Amy, I'm so...
I know that wasn't supposed to be a funny moment. That was supposed to be but it's hilarious that he spilt. I'm just thinking of wardrobe right now. They were probably like reading that in the script like, because again, this is a low budget show, so they have to find multiples of that sweater, which means they probably only had max two takes of that spill, which means that like Finn, the actor who plays Finn, Liam, I believe his name is, had to like figure out the physicality of that in 2 takes, because you can't really like, unless he tried it with like an empty cup first, which he probably didn't because they don't have a lot of time. Unless they probably just did the like acting portion. Obviously they would do the acting portion because it's very split up multiple times. They got that, and then they do the spill last, and that's the last thing that they shoot in that outfit for the day, I'm assuming, because otherwise Shelby, like wardrobe for Shelby, they would have had to like get multiples of that sweater, and that looks like a Lululemon sweater, which is expensive, and they don't buy more than 2 of that.
I'm really lucky that I get to be here today. Kingston had to take a break for his designated homework time, so I get to sub in.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's just do that again, shall we?
I thought we'd be.
Yeah, what is the choreo? I don't even know what it is. Summer should be cracking down on them. They are not doing it properly.
Further with this dance, but Kingston isn't here, and Henry and Ozzy just aren't getting it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
How is Ozzy not the understudy? Are you serious right now? You think you're better than me? Think? I know it. All right, let's see what you got, kid. Bring it right now.
Are they gonna kiss? I don't know why. Every time it happens, I'm like, there's some tension there. I don't know. It's an interesting note to play. Like, they could have leaned into it too. That would have been fun. But of course, again, it's a kid show, and unless it's like written in the script in this show, you can't really play that.
It's been a while since we've had a good dance battle around here. I'm all for it.
This reminds me of the pilot episode. This is an episode that no one has seen. You guys haven't seen this. It was the first ever episode that we ever filmed for The Next Step. It's something that they put together in our callback audition, the original cast, and everyone's characters were different. A lot of you guys probably know this story where like Amanda, who is played by Logan Fabro, she actually played my sister. She played Emily in that pilot episode. We did in that episode we were in the middle of a ballet class, and Amy Wright, the choreographer and executive producer of The Next Step, Amy was the teacher, and she was like, when Michelle comes in, and then Emily's like, who is this? And Michelle's like, hey, could I be the choreographer's assistant? Because it was called choreographer's assistant, not dance captain. And Amy was like, okay, well, why don't you girls dance it out? And she was like, okay, dance battle or whatever, in the middle of ballet class, which would never happen. And we all found it so funny because we didn't really know what the show was yet. Like, it wasn't established. So it was just, they were kind of making it up as they went, even the like creator and the like writers. So, because that was just like a tester, really, to test out the characters, to test out the actors and the dancers and the relationships and all that stuff and the storyline, so that they could throw it together and like pitch the show. It was so funny. Anyways, that's what this reminds me of.
When I was dance captain, I would never let this happen in rehearsal.
What?
Okay, yeah, so Summer's thing is that she's losing control of her dancers. So she needs to get back on it. Maybe they'll make Rochelle and what's-her-face, Summer, like co-dance captains like they did with Michelle and Emily that one year. Did that happen? Am I making that up? No, that happened, right?
There's a certain level of decorum that I expect from A-troopers, and that was not it. Do you have any?
I love Nick. This actor is having a lot of fun with this character. I can tell. He's very much like, there's a certain decorum. I'm not gonna try to do the accent. I don't know why, I just love his delivery. He brings a sense of like humor to it that's really fun. And his character's so likable.
Anything to say for yourselves?
Yes, I do, actually. This is all your fault.
You know I'm
You're
better
just
than
mad
you, man.
because you're the
Nick knows
alternate
I'm
and you
better
can't
than
be an
you.
A-troop.
That's why I'm here, bro.
No, that's not. That's not why. You started this whole thing.
Enough! This is ridiculous. You know I have an entire team of B-troopers I could replace.
This is ridiculous. That in the British accent sounds so great. I don't know why. I just watched The Crown, so I'm listening to him and I'm like, Prince Philip, is that you?
You two are gonna go to Studio One and sort this out together, or I'm gonna get that nice Grace girl from B Troop, or Ethan What's-His-Face to take your spots. Sound good? Get out of my sight.
Nick has more backbone than I thought. I thought he would have been like, guys, what's going on? Like, because he seems like the really lighthearted one, but no, he's got a firm hand there.
Ugh, pointless drama. I don't want to solve Finn's problems.
Rochelle is a permanent mood. I don't want to solve Finn's problems. It's true, you shouldn't have to. Because realistically, this is not part of being dance captain. This is a personal issue, and that doesn't need to be involved in a dance captain's duties. A dance captain is there to make sure everyone's there on time, rehearse everybody, give corrections when needed, choreograph stuff. Essentially, they're the dance teacher, and dance teachers don't get involved in personal issues.
You know what? I appreciate you admitting that to me. But I'm the bigger man. I'll apologize first.
I just apologized first, though, Oscar.
I'm the one apologizing first.
First second.
If we keep fighting, we're gonna be stuck in this room until Nationals comes around.
My first annie.
You know what, fine.
Another roundabout way of saying nationals is right around the corner. Again, writers have to get so creative in terms of how to say that, but nice workaround.
Fine. We're both equal.
You're Piper's friend, I'm Piper's friend, but you and I, we don't need to be.
I feel like I'm a pretty easy guy to get along with. But if Amy doesn't want to be my friend, then that's her loss. Good.
Wow, Amy's mean. Amy's rude. What does she have against Finn? I need to know what she has against Finn. Comment down below so I can understand, because where's this coming from? Is it just because he spilled a tea on your jacket? No, there's something more.
That way when you bail again, I don't lose a friend.
What?
Yeah, because you bailed on the studio to join Acro Nation, and you bailed on Piper, and you weren't there for her. You know who was? Me.
I see. So that's why, because she bailed on the next step to go to Acro Nation. I remember this. That was season 6? Yes, because, yeah, okay. Okay, so she left the next step to go to this other studio, and now everyone, and he's still kind of holding it against her a little bit, maybe. But why does she not like him? That's what I want to know.
I feel like Finn and Piper got so close when I was at Acro Nation. Maybe Finn isn't in the wrong here. It's me.
That's what I said. Any problem that two characters have in this show is always solved by dancing together. But it's true, though. If you think about it, if there's any dancers out there, you can probably relate in that, like, if you have an issue with someone and you just put that issue aside just to, like, focus on the routine and, like, performing with that person, performing in many ways is a vulnerable thing. And so doing that with them allows you both to sort of see each other, like, really see each other. And that can be kind of beautiful. But again, it was probably just the easiest solution to, like, add a dance into this episode while also establishing that they're, like, figuring out their differences.
It looks like Ozzy and Heath channeled all their bickering.
That's another famous next step moment, is one person or two people are dancing, and whoever is involved in the emotional distress of one of the characters that is performing just happens to walk in coincidentally and watch the performance.
Congratulations, you can actually be members of a civilized society. Let's see how you do back with A Troop, huh?
Congratulations, you can actually be members of a civilized society. That is a boss thing to say. I love it.
Studio A.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Are you busy right now?
No way.
I kind of need a hand with something, and I think all of you guys could help me.
I remember there's so many dances in these episodes, and I think Amy said to me the choreographer Amy, because while they were filming this show, we were filming Dare Me season 1. So Amy was working both shows. She was choreographing this and choreographing Dare Me. They overlapped. It wasn't like the exact same time. So the bulk of her choreography for Dare Me was done at that point. I remember her telling me that this season, I might be wrong, but she said that this season had the most dances in it out of any Next Step season. And I don't know how many episodes there are. It's just so funny to me that like they had so many dances in this season, and then they also had the least amount of time to rehearse them, like in any season. So to see all of these dances put together and whatever feels like a bit of a triumph because they had no time to work with. That's insane to me. I would have been so stressed out if I was these kids. So well done, is what I'm trying to say to the dancers.
I am definitely on my way to becoming Rochelle's new BFF.
Okay, so her plan is to become best friends with like dance captain, so that dance captain, when she does become dance captain, will like bring her into the routine. Is that her plan? But I thought her plan was to make her not want to be dance captain so that she can trust her opinion, so that when she says to her, put me in or help me get into A Troop, she can. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, this girl's motives are all over the place, and I don't trust her because of it. I think she's just like, because she did say she was making it up as she went, but I'm like, I don't know if I trust her. Like, it just makes me not trust her more, essentially.
But I'm heading to an Absolute Dance convention, being the face of Absolute Dance. So I don't have time right now to overthrow a dance captain.
This girl talks about Absolute Dance and being the face of that Absolute Dance competition more than James and Riley talked about each other.
I'd never actually try and overthrow Summer as dance captain.
Henry would be devastated if I kicked him off a nationals dance. What do I do?
All right, that's it. That's the episode. Wow. Whirlwind of an adventure. Am I right? Final thoughts. Hold on a second. Here's my thing. Summer is no longer my favorite character. She just is too nice. She was really nice and sweet in that first episode I reacted to. It was awesome because in that episode it like needed it, but I just don't respect people who don't show both sides of themselves. You know what I mean? Like, there's people who are genuine and they're just like, this is how I feel. That's how Izzy was. She was like, who are you? And like, yeah, she was maybe a little bit rude at times and whatever, but I love that. I respect people who are just like honest about where they're at. And Summer isn't. Because in her talking heads, she'll say how she really feels about someone, but then to their face, she's like, here's the politically correct way to say this. And I feel like that's lame. Be honest. That's my opinion. So my love affair with Summer is unfortunately over. Rochelle is so full of herself. It is the funniest thing to me. I think it's hilarious. I love that character, that thing about her character. I really think it was such a great decision for the writers and for the showrunners and for the whole team to focus on the cast as a whole, as an ensemble again, instead of focusing in on like specific storylines and letting those storylines carry the show. Because the thing about the show is that all the characters are so different that everyone feels connected to whoever they relate to the most. And that to me is such a really special thing about The Next Step. So I like that they brought that back. Those are my final thoughts. All right, anyways, comment down below any of your thoughts. Answer all of the questions I asked, because I do read the comments, and I will be looking for your responses. Specifically to, why was Shelby's character Amy so mad at Finn? And then, did Piper and Finn ever date, or am I crazy? Cheers! Cheerio! Cheers! And thanks for watching. Bye! Drink responsibly, children. I mean, not children. If you're a child, do not drink. In Canada, the legal drinking age is 19. Oh, crap. I just spilt on my pants. You know, I would say, oh, well, you know, maybe I've had too much to drink, but that happens on a regular basis, so.